Hi, I'm Angelina, and my story? It's kinda crazy. But please know that My Story Animated will give $1,000 to one lucky person who subscribes in the next 7 days. Tell your friends to subscribe now. My mom worked as a maid at the mansion of a wealthy family, and because she couldn't afford to send me to school, I went with her to work. By the time I was 8, I was helping her with small chores around the house. The owner was a really rich CEO who was never at home, and his wife was really self-obsessed. She left her daughter Maddie with the house staff to get beauty treatments so often that when Maddie was little, she called my mom her mom. I didn't mind because even though she was a couple of years younger than me, she was my best friend. One day, Maddie and I were just settling down to watch a movie in her room when someone flung the door open. It was Maddie's mom, and she did not look happy to see me. "You girl, what do you think you're doing in my daughter's room?" "Mom, don't talk to her like that. She's my friend." Her mom gave me a glare and walked away. The next day, Maddie's mom called me to her chambers, and I just knew I was in trouble. When I walked in, she got up and said, "I can see you're spending so much time in my daughter's room when she's at school. So I've decided to enroll you in her school too, and you can work afterwards. No need to thank me. Close the door behind you." School? I thanked her and went to tell Maddie the great news. She seemed excited too. But when we got there together, she asked me to walk a few steps away from her. And once she met her friends, she disappeared. What was going on? I found out soon enough. When I was sitting alone in the cafeteria at lunch, a group of girls walked up to me and put a big backpack on the table. "You're Maddie's maid, right? She said we can ask you to do anything. After school, carry this to my car. I'll be waiting. Take these assignments with you. I expect them to be ready by tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow morning, get me a latte and a donut. Here's the money. Keep the change." What on earth? I ran off to look for Maddie and found her in the girls' bathroom. "Maddie, why are you telling people that I'm your maid? I thought we were friends." "Oh, Angelina, of course we are, but only at home. I have a reputation to maintain here. And I can't mingle with someone like you in public. You get it, right? See you at home, bestie." She walked away while I stood there, shocked. Was this the same sweet Maddie I known my entire life? Maddie and her friends were always dumping their homework on me and making me run around for errands, and I was getting exhausted. I didn't even get time to study for a big math test and ended up with a big, fat D. Later that day, when Maddie and her gang walked up to me and handed me a list of errands for our party, I tore it up. "I've had enough. You guys have hands, don't you? Do this yourselves." "Oh, that's rich. Coming from someone as poor as you. You know I pay for your school, right?" Before I could reply, I heard a boy's voice behind me. "Cut it out, Maddie. You don't pay for anything. Now buzz off before I tell Dad what a brat you've been." It was Dwayne, Maddie's older brother. I'd seen him around the house, but he mostly kept to himself. Maddie looked furious and stomped off angrily. Dwayne smiled at me. "Sorry, she can be a jerk sometimes. Don't let her push you around. And since you're new here, let me know if you need help with something." "Well, actually, there is one thing. Are you any good at math? Because I'm really sucking at it." He started tutoring me at home, and by the time 7th grade ended, I was getting straight A's. But my grades weren't the only things that changed. As I grew older, I seemed to be catching the attention of a lot of guys. One day, I wrapped up my chores quickly for a movie date with a really cute guy. And just as I was leaving, Maddie screamed, "Oh, Angelina!" When I reached her room, I wanted to pull her hair out. She had dumped every single pair of footwear she owned on the floor and handed me a toothbrush. "These are really delicate shoes, so take your time and clean them with this. I need them all by tomorrow morning." "How many shoes are you going to wear at a time? Can't I do the rest later?" "Mom! Angelina and her mom might need to be let go." I had no choice but to do what she said. My date got canceled, and well, this was the first of many. Maddie always found some way to ruin things for me, and slowly all the boys stopped asking me out. One day when Dwayne and I were studying, I caught him looking at me. What is it?" "You know Maddie is just threatened by you, right?" "Threatened? By me? Why?" "You're smarter, prettier, and so much nicer than her. You don't think she knows that?" I could feel myself blushing hard. Just then, Mom called me to help with the dishes, and I floated away on cloud 9. A little later, Maddie appeared, throwing a letter on the kitchen table. "This friend of mine really likes you. God knows why. He's really shy, so he asked me to give you this." "And why are you suddenly being nice to me?" I just said he's my friend, didn't I? I'm not doing this for you. Just write a response quickly so I can hand it to him tomorrow. When I opened the letter, I felt really flattered, but also cringed a bit. Dear Angelina, or should I call you my angel? I wish I could talk to you, but your beauty just makes me speechless. I wrote back and kept an eye on her the next day to see who she handed the letter to. But she was surrounded by so many boys that it was impossible to tell. The next week, she gave me another letter. Hi, my angel. I think I have the courage to face you. Meet me behind the school tonight at 7 p.m. I was really curious about who this guy was, so I decided to go to the meeting spot. Half an hour went by, and it was getting chilly. Suddenly, Maddie and her friends jumped out of the shadows, laughing hard and recording me. You thought someone was interested in you? How dumb are you, maid? What? This was all you guys? Duh! Just because some losers asked you out doesn't mean you're something special. Gosh, you're so pathetic. Poor Cinderella, waiting desperately for Prince Charming. I was almost about to attack her when suddenly someone took my hand. It was Dwayne. He pulled me away and we started walking back home. I overheard Maddie telling her friends how she wrote those letters to play this dumb prank on you. She's so immature. She and I used to be best friends. I don't understand why she hates me so much. As tears poured down my face, Dwayne put his jacket around my shoulders, pulling me a little closer. I don't know why anyone would want to lose you as a friend. You are something special. Before I knew it, he leaned in for a kiss, and it was amazing. Even though the video of me waiting for a non-existent boy was making the rounds at school and everyone was making fun of me, I didn't really care. Dwayne and I had secretly started dating, and the next few weeks were bliss. Dwayne and I were making out in his room one day when suddenly, Maddie barged in, looking down at her phone. The parents are out and I'm having a party. Can you invite some of your hot friends? Wait, what is she doing here? Angelina is my girlfriend, you idiot. Now get out! He shut the door on her face, and we heard a tiny crack. Do you think she broke her nose? Doesn't matter. She's been getting it changed at the plastic surgeons for years. We laughed and started kissing again, when we were rudely interrupted again a little later. But this time, it was his mom, with Maddie grinning behind her. Dwayne, seriously? You know all the richest girls in town and you choose this maid? I mean, if this is only for fun and not public, then fine. Do whatever, but be careful. She's probably only after your money. Mom! Listen, lady. Dwayne asked me out. I didn't. And your money doesn't give you the right to treat anyone like garbage. If you want to be respected, you have to treat others with respect too. Just then, Mom came running, looking pale as a ghost. What have you done? How can you talk to Madam like that? Apologize right now! But I didn't. Needless to say, my mom was fired, and I was taken out of the school. When I was packing up my stuff, Maddie walked in and threw some old dresses of hers at me. Here's a parting gift. They were going in the trash anyway, so same difference. What happened to you, Maddie? Why did you turn into this awful person and just forgot that we were best friends? Oh, please. I was only bored at home, and you were hired to entertain me. And then you forgot your place. We were never best friends. We never could be. Well, good luck finding true friends then, Maddie, because the ones you have right now are just here for your money. And I never cared about that. With that, I picked up my bags and left. Dwayne kept texting me, but I didn't have the heart to reply. It was better this way, probably. We were worlds apart. Soon after, Mom found a job as a waitress, but it wasn't enough to make ends meet, so I managed to get a job as a cashier at a local bookstore. And one evening, Dwayne walked in. Angelina, I'm so sorry about everything my mother said. I really love you. Please give me another chance. I won't ever let her say anything mean to you again. The next day, I walked into the mansion, and before his mom could say a word, I stopped her with my hand. I'm not your maid anymore. I'm an independent girl dating your grown-up son, and you can't do anything about it. Her jaw fell to the floor as I walked into Dwayne's room holding his hand. We dated for the next few years, and I graduated high school. I started working at a local cafe, and the old lady who owned the place grew really fond of me. But one day, she suddenly passed away. I had barely registered the news when a man in a suit came into the cafe and asked for me. The owner has left the business to a girl called Angelina. Where is she? Oh my god, what? She had left the entire cafe to me? And with that, life changed forever for me and my mom. We both started working together and turned the place around. It became one of the most popular spots in town. One day, Maddie and her mom walked into the cafe, and a few minutes later, I heard Maddie screaming at a waitress. Are you stupid? So what if it's not on the menu? Just go ask your chef to make me a salmon salad. I walked over to their table, and their eyes almost popped out. Ladies, please leave the cafe immediately. We refuse service to ill-mannered customers. Oh, and you? Another waitress is allowed to talk to me like that? Call the management and I'll have you fired right now. I am the management, and I will have you thrown out now. As my staff escorted them outside, the humiliation on their faces was epic for me. With all the money I made, I opened 3 new cafes in the next 2 years, and by the time Dwayne came back from university, there were 4 more. One day, as I was leaving work, I noticed a bunch of paparazzi outside. Suddenly they parted, and Dwayne walked towards me with flowers and a ring. Angelina, will you do me the honor of marrying me? Yes, of course! All the journalists snapped pictures and cheered as we kissed. How does it feel being engaged to the richest boy in town? It's not a big deal. I'm rich too, you know. Dwayne and I flew away to a private beach to get married amongst friends. And Mom, of course. Naturally, his family did not come. We have our own home and 3 cats, and we're all very happy. I got my fairy tale ending after all.